Hello, Bethany family. Today is day 22 of our 30 days of prayer, God's Great Hope. And I want to begin by sharing the scripture verse, which comes from Nehemiah chapter 1, verse 4. It says, "When I heard these words, I sat down and wept and mourned for many days." Day 22's title is Broken Over Great Devastation. Chris Schofield writes, while serving at the North American Mission Board in the Office of Prayer, I had a moving conversation with Dr. Lewis Drummond, former Billy Graham Chair of Evangelism at Southern Seminary and president of Southeastern Baptist Theological Seminary. At the time, he was teaching at Beeson Divinity School and had just returned from England after preaching the funeral of a friend. While in England, he drove around talking with pastors and leaders and visiting churches. He said it disturbed him greatly to see the deadness of many churches. He found few believers actually went to church, and a large number of churches had become Muslim mosques. Dr. Drummond then became emotional as he shared his extreme burden over the declining spiritual condition in America. He was gravely worried that if the American church and culture did not experience God's mercy through revival within the next 30 to 50 years, it would end up looking just like England in spiritual ruins. He said, "Please don't ever stop calling people to pray for revival and spiritual awakening. Our very existence and relevance as the church in America and as a country depends on God's mercy in revival and spiritual awakening." That was my last conversation with Dr. Drummond before his death 2 months later in January of 2004. It was quite a moving conversation, one that left an indelible mark on my life. Nehemiah's first response to the news concerning the spiritual and physical distress among the inhabitants of Jerusalem was brokenness. It says he sat down and wept. His love and concern for his Jewish brethren and homeland moved him to weep audibly in display of great emotion. Nehemiah also mourned, meaning he lamented or grieved inwardly and outwardly over the spiritual and physical suffering in Jerusalem. The news of the devastation was so disturbing that it altered his life and schedule as he responded with great compassion and mourned for many days. God's timing and redemptive activity can also be seen in and through Nehemiah during this season of grief. Like Jesus and Paul, Nehemiah empathized and owned the pain and suffering of his brethren. This level of compassion and empathy eventually led Nehemiah to not only pray, but actually engage in helping with the crisis. Has all the pain and suffering from the pandemic and rampant lostness moved you to weep and mourn over America yet? If not, why not? Our prayer prompts are these. Lord, break my heart over the physical suffering and the spiritual famine in this country. And Father, stir my church to be an instrument of hope and good news amid the physical and spiritual brokenness in my community and beyond. God bless you as you continue to pray wholeheartedly and fervently in these days. With great love to you, have a wonderful day.